There are conversations that shape how we live. Conversations that help us navigate challenges of life. Conversations that bring out the best in us. This is where we gather to help each other find the way and unleash our potential. Welcome to the Benjamin Zulu Global.
Psychologist, relationship coach, the one, the only
Benjamin Zulu.
Benjamin Zulu himself. Now, baby daddy and baby mama drama is one thing that most people tend to avoid as much as they can. But at times, you get married to someone who has a child. And in the name of visitation, at times, co-parenting parents, they can reignite the fire that was once there. And as the spouse, you can actually feel very insecure of that. So join us today as we look at how one can be able to know if their spouse, when their spouse rather, is not cheating with their baby daddy or their baby mama. So join us today right on the Benjamin Zulu Global. My good name is Janik. And this insecurity, it almost screams at you from the word go. Once you know someone has a child, you know that they, have to associate with the baby mommy or baby mama or baby daddy. They're somehow connected. So how do you address these insecurities from the word go?
Janik, it's not natural to get children before we are married. It is not the order of God. It is not the order of God. If you read Genesis, you hear that the father of Lot had died. And Abraham then took Lot as his own son. And he died before his own father. There the Bible notes that. There are some things that are unnatural, like children dying ahead of their fathers, and children being born to people who are not yet married. Mm-hmm. This is unnatural. So we are not dealing with, it's normal. It's not normal. Mm-hmm. So I want you to prepare for strain, because you are engaging something that is not
normal.
Our biggest problem, Jonik, is that we have normalized the abnormal. Right. And we're wondering why it's not working.
Right.
We have reached a place where we take it for granted. Now that people have multiple baby daddy, multiple baby mama, it is so widespread. Even when the madness is communal, the consequences are always personal.
That's true. Oh yes.
It can be widespread, but the pain, the daily fear, the daily intrusive thoughts, what are they doing? What are they saying? Am I sure? What about what if? Sometimes you are not insecure, you are dealing with untrustworthy people. Janek, you are not being excessive. When people slept together as far as creating a human being, are together again on whatever basis. And now they don't need to seduce each other.
Yeah. It happened once, so...
There are soft spots they can go.
Yeah.
And this does not limit children only. When you have people who went as far as in their former dating to expose their nakedness to that human being, and they're telling you, we're just friends, you're just talking, don't be fool. You're not a fool. By the way, you are allowed not to marry anybody who slept with the people. You are allowed, and you are not judgmental. You are allowed. Let the society say whatever. You are carrying this burden to your house. You are carrying this. You see, you want mental peace, Janik. The one thing we want is easy sleep, quiet days. If a person has planted another human being to hover in their life, to manage something they created, you don't have to take part in it. Hey, I know. Judgmental, you chose that life and you carry it.
Yeah.
When you go to boutiques, you judge garments. Which one fits you? You don't always buy, and the sellers don't say, it's just that I'll buy it for me. Dating is shopping. You shop what fits you. You measure. I don't want this. Thank you. Let me move. I move on.
That's true.
We have trivialized iniquity. Do you know, I was telling you in another show how sickening to the nerve it is when you have to let a grown-up take note that they screwed their life when they started sleeping with people before marriage. Instead of starting there saying, I went as far as. You say, I wonder why he has left me. I wonder, I discovered is that he has all this. Now there's that woman. He has other children. Why are you overlooking the fact that had you been reading him with your brain and not your body, it would be so easy to add one and move on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you arrived and started investing emotionally. And one lady said, been dating this guy 3 years, I discovered he's still living, they're still together, baby mama, the 2 children, some of these cases we're discussing with. And he said the woman living there is not even the mother, the children, is somebody has employed, but now I've investigated, it's actually the mother, the baby mama, it's like they're married, it's like they're in a thing. And I'm saying you've spent 3 years sleeping with some stranger out here in the world. And you're hoping one day a guy will come and marry you. You're not even worried about that. You're worried that the thief you've been giving your body to is not behaving like not a thief. He stole with you. Why do you think you're the only person he steals with? Where do you get the delusion that because me and you are lying to each other, you are not lying with anybody? Where do we get this from?
And just to be clear, we're not addressing maybe say co-parenting for couples who divorced.
No,
but
today's 90% is not divorce. Some people are not even married; they are just cohabitating.
Yes.
Yes. People who date and marry right and go on to divorce are such a small minority. If that was the only problem we had in society,
that's true.
We'll be very peaceful. People get babies, children with people they just had infatuation with.
Right.
Basically.
Right.
Basically. Don't complicate it. We have forgotten self-control. We call discipline dry spell.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
We call it dry spell and we call it a punishment. We get into relationships to access sex and money. It is no longer preparation for marriage. Let me prepare you. The Bible has no term like baby daddy. God doesn't know that.
Yeah.
There's no, Bible has no boyfriend, no girlfriend. These are inventions to facilitate our compromise and self-ruling.
Yeah.
When a man got a child with a woman he was not married to, like Jephthah, he was expelled. The woman and the child were expelled from that estate. God is fair. He can see the son is innocent. He gives him leadership. He ends up being the king, the leader in that country, the judge of the governor of Israel. God himself is fair. He's not punishing the child for the sins of the parent. But I'm saying what we have normalized today is foreign to God. And let me tell you, Joannick, if you subscribe to this, and I don't have energy now, 22 years old, there's this girl dating, we had a child, 22-year-old, dating, having a child. And let me tell you, if you don't have an instinct to make something of your life, I can't help you. I cannot even have a conversation with you. I'll just recommend materials and excuse myself.
Yeah. Wow. A lot of truth. Today you're saying a lot of truth.
I cannot. Let me tell you, one woman cried to the king, King. Imagine we slaughtered my son and we hate. We agreed this woman that because we are starving, let's eat our children. When we ate my child, the next day she did not bring her child to eat. The king was so devastated. And the answer was, it's somewhere in Samaria. If God has not helped you, how will I help you? I got a lot of peace when I stopped substituting God. It released. When people don't care about God and their purpose and why He created them, neither can I help them.
Yeah, that's true.
Gave me a lot of peace. It used to frustrate me to death. But I realized, an woman was, when crying, God, they chased me out of that church. God told them, they also chased me a long time ago. Some people don't care. Today we are not discussing a normal situation in life. My friend, there is no clean way of handling a dirty situation. Baby mama, baby daddy is a dirty situation.
That's true.
Whether you do it right or you do it wrong, it will hurt. Stop being told there's no good way. Joannick, you get a child today when you're not married. If you parent well with the baby daddy, other men will avoid you. If you don't parent well, the child will suffer. If you're perfectly in parenting, you become suspicious. Are you really out? Are you really done? When you don't cooperate at all, we're entering, are you sincere? You hurt, the child hurts. There's no clean way of doing cooperating.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not there.
That's very true.
Avoid it when you can. Listen, and if you already want to have one child, stop sleeping with people. Create a second child. Total mayhem. Total mayhem. Some of these socialites have normalized madness. So no, this child I get to that guy over there, this one over there, have a WhatsApp group for baby daddies, and this one over there, and then children are buying into madness. How many girls and boys have pleaded with me in hushed tones? Bro, go tell people getting a child is not fun. One lady told me, I know in my heart of hearts, I had a big place to go. But the moment I conceived this child, for the next 5 years, it was torture. I'm trying to build it again, but friends who used to dream together are gone. The people who believed in me are confused. My cheerleaders, I used to have a bright, I was the brightest cousin. She was telling me in the larger family, the brightest cousin. And people looking up to me, going to this national school, doing this very well. This setback, I'm not doomed, but I just know I'm affected. I'm wounded. Tell them to avoid it. You don't need boyfriend, sex, outside marriage. It's not the order of God. It will punish you.
Yeah.
God helps those who come to him, but some consequences will follow. Until the day of the last day of David, and you hear he got this Solomon with Bathsheba, with whom was the wife of Uriah. God will never leave that to go out of history. You violated another man. That remains the truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
You violate nature. That remains the truth.
That's true.
He can forgive and love the child, give you succession and all that. He's a loving father, but justice stands there. You get a child with the wrong person and they come resembling that group, you will see the face in the face of a person you hate on a person you like, and you are going to deal with that. And every stage of life they manifest more.
Yes. Yes.
And they keep asking, can I visit? You hear they have gone there. Some things, sorry, young people, save yourself.
Yeah.
Jonik, we have underestimated the agony. We have downplayed the consequences. Research showed that a lot of children in the streets are not parentless. They're just stepchildren who didn't fit in the family where the person married. They suffer so much they even kicked out of home. The other day, a man killed a 16-year-old stepdaughter who came with a woman he married. Stabbed her to death. Grisly stories. And she had been reporting sexual abuse to the mother, and the mother would say, oh, I've rebuked the man, I confronted him. When your daughter is being molested, you just talked to him. It is against nature. It is against nature.
Yeah.
And although many people have gone to the book of Judges, the refrain in that book is very sad. In those days, there was no king in Israel. Everybody did as they saw fit. These days, there are no kings in people's lives. There's no God in people's lives. They just want to do as they wish. But let me tell you, the consequences of bringing a child in a confused situation are lifelong generations.
Very true.
We have summarized this. I got a bar. I got paged. That's a generation. Hundreds of years of succession with a bad foundation. Stop saying I can pay fees. He pays fees. We cooperate well. Now you think you have finished the problem.
Wow.
Let us spare the next generation. If we can't get them in a settled marriage, let's not get them. If we can't bring children in a happy marriage, let's not get any. We'll have a healthier society. We'll have fewer regrets.
That's true.
And once we get children, let's mature up so that we only go to divorce when we realize one of us is totally not committed to repair. But we should not divorce because I went cheating and I have a child here. One day I will be on my deathbed regretting. Life turns around, and the ones you abandoned are the only ones who can help you. Sometimes the ones we despise end up being the ones who can help us. So let's start with a clarion call. We are not normalizing baby daddy, baby mama. Stop having sex with your boyfriend, you are cheating on your husband. Stop having sex with your girlfriend, you are cheating on your wife. Girlfriend is not always wife, boyfriend is not always husband. God ordained for A, B, C, D. Courtship, then marriage, then sex. That is the order of God. You get outside the order of God, you're going to have disorder. This is not normal. What you're describing here is an unfortunate situation. And if you're a child of those situations, it's not you. The writer of the book who said, Hakuna mwana haramu kitendo licho haramu. There is no illegitimate child. It is the act that is illegitimate. Do not feel. Jephthah was chased out like an illegitimate child. God reproved and said, no, he is innocent. And he will be the king. He will be the governor. I just want you to prepare. And in your own life, say, one guy told me he's dating the very toxic woman who comes home late, kicking around, screaming, chaotic. And I said, so, but I'm here for the children. Do you think you're doing the children any favor? I asked him, bro, let's think straight. Did I tell you thinking is the hardest thing to do in this world?
Yes.
Johnny, if there's a gift you'll ever give people is help them think. Help them think.
Yeah.
Think is like turning on a torch. Literally, it's like, poop, okay. Many people just never apply the torch to the dark to see. Light represents knowledge, darkness represents ignorance. People live in that darkness. I've not thought about it. I'm not sure. I have not seen it that way. I'm just wondering, I was not like that. We don't think. If you help people turn on the torch, then they can see. Your mind operates like a drill. Where you direct it, it drills. It clears up things.
Yeah.
Ask him, what favor are you doing to these children? It's because I came from a single mother and I feel like if I deny them the two parents, I'm just doing them, injustice. Do they have two parents? Right now.
Right now. Yeah.
Do they have two parents or they have two warring parties? And when the two bulls are fighting, the grass hurts the most. Aren't this grass hurting between two fighting bulls? You came from a single parent and you saw that you didn't want your children to grow under the same circumstances. What is the best way to prevent single parent situation if you hated growing up under it? Isn't it thorough preparation and due diligence in your choice and carefulness with your sex and where you plant your seed? Isn't this the same carelessness that people don't like thinking? But just preparing meals is a thing for men. It's a thing, it's a big work. They don't remember to prepare meals. They're too busy. I saw to only marry right or not marry at all. If you grew up under divorced parents or you experience separation and you don't want to ever divorce, I don't want you to just swear and then you are cohabitating, then you are just sleeping in comfort and telling, don't be stupid. Think backwards. What leads to this? Then avoid that. The best covenant is to never plant your seed or let a man plant in your seed outside of the covenant of marriage.
That's true.
That's the only way to prevent it. You can't prevent 100%, but the foreseeable divorce is very preventable. Foreseeable one. The one for choosing a person who is as prepared and ready as you. Marrying a person whose mind is for the long haul. If widowhood happens or people change on you midlife, you find grace, the grace that Ruth got, the grace that Bathsheba got, the grace that Abigail got. Those people are mentioning who did 2 marriages in the Bible, but your preacher won't emphasize it because it's uncomfortable. They had their destiny in the second marriage. If after you do things right, things still go south, you find grace. You won't have guilt, you have grace.
Yeah.
You didn't just screw up. And do you know, Johnny is, somebody says, I've been married for 22 years. Okay, not officially married. Okay, we have children. Okay, now he's cheating. Okay, he doesn't talk. He never signed anywhere to marry you. So you expect him to behave like something he never asked for. Wait, can you wake up? What are you asking? That when you are not wife, you're not being treated as wife? that the man who never signed to be husband is not behaving like a husband. Do you see how hard to
Does not make sense.
thinking is so hard?
Yeah.
All right. If you decide to risk it to the person, I hope you'll have risked it because they convinced you with the first point. One way to know that a person is not cheating with whoever they got a child with is when they no longer meet in private. Not even secret. Private. You can see a person who has clearly demarcated and there's no shadow of doubt. The age of the child matters. Don't marry people when they still have infants. Don't. They're still in the baby blues. Please. Don't marry people who have infants. They're still in baby blues, and co-parenting an infant is very demanding. But a school-going child, somebody can pick from the child and drop on the other one.
They don't have to meet.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's the idea.
Yeah.
This child can be put in a car, the other one can bring taxi. When they don't meet in private. When they don't have any personal communications. Everything is logistic and it's not even hidden. You can help me look what they're texting. Inevitably, invariably, hardly do you get two mature people who got a child. It's very hard. People mature later, but most of the time one of them moves on, the other one doesn't. One was baiting. The other one was naive. If you marry a person who is done and moved on, you see clarity and them involving you fully. And there's no feelings between them and the other person. No concern over what they are doing, who they are with. Not unnecessarily updated. You can know a person who are talking because they know what is happening with each other.
Yeah.
Too much knowing. You can tell. Why would you know all that? Where is that information coming from?
Yeah.
If you see privacy in the name of, because these people know how to rope each other in. The child is in the hospital, come. The child has a parents' day in school, come. The child has this and that. They say they want you, come. We say they want both parents, come. The excuses around co-parenting are limitless. Remember, these people have a soft ground between them. The African proverb that when you see a squirrel digging up the ground with a tail, it's because it had dug it yesterday. These people already dug the ground. They only need to dig it with a tail. They only need to call each other Baba Ryan, Mama Ryan. And the intimacy, the feelings return.
Yeah.
My friend, don't become a caretaker government. When people are playing games. Johnny, don't wait for hard evidence. When people have a child, that was their misbehavior. And it is upon them to prove to you that they are fully done. It's not you to investigate, interrogate, assuming you're also dating with common sense. If this person messed their life with premarital sex and you're also sleeping with them, even you're not using common sense. You're just joining into the same vices that let them where you could be just the next baby daddy or baby mom. Or they will continue because that habit has never stopped.
Yeah.
They have never even self-reflected. Anybody who got a child and they're still sleeping with you, my friend, you're joking.
You're next in
Marriage
line.
is not for everyone. Marriage is too demanding, by the way.
Yeah.
Too demanding. It requires character and discipline and ownership. It requires healing.
So meaning that trust and transparency should come from them.
You should see them going out of their way to keep you at peace. To keep you on loop. Just knowing what is going on.
Actually, that's another thing. You find that married couples, tend to also argue a lot along those lines because you find that things happen and you are not aware, that, I had to go this, I had to do this for the baby.
Place the burden of the one you're having to accommodate on them. Otherwise, don't get involved. Let me remind you, if you worked hard to clear your life, you could even have your own child. By the way, you cleared with your own other parent. You expect that standard of clarity. And And if you're coming without a child, this is not judgment, this is standard. When you buy cars, you judge them to make sure they meet the standard you want. Why are we so afraid of evaluating things? The Bible tells you to discern spirits. Discern them. The second sign is when they have moved on in every aspect. They have become a different person. They have upgraded their life. They have changed their ideology around sex.
Mm-hmm.
They have changed their approach to relationships to the opposite sex. They have become clear on what they used to do wrong. When people are still skittish, non-committal, avoidant of that subject, silent, quiet, they have not moved on. They just want to get you in and they continue their life behind the back. They want to have it both ways. Jonic, it's not this person only whom they can sleep with. This is a habit they can exercise with anyone.
Yeah.
Your safety is not just around this particular individual. Let me remind you also, when you are bringing a child of the opposite sex to this person and they have not overcome their sexual behaviors, this child one day look like a younger, vibrant version of me.
Right, right.
And they have no blood with this woman. Incest starts there.
Yeah.
This girl will one day look like a younger version of you. And this man has no blood. And you glossed over the fact that he has not restored its sexual integrity. You glossed over it. There's a silent pandemic happening nowadays called pornography. Pornography is a campaign for perverted sex. Pornography does not sell sex. No more sex that cannot sell. No more sex wouldn't sell. Just know that. Because it involves care for both people. The people who sell pornography cannot repeat the same things of husband and wife having good time. It will get monotonous the first day. What makes pornography sell is which taboo has not been broken. And one taboo is incest. So somebody has been binge watching stepmom sex, stepson, and you casually took them on the surface, casually, and married them. And you can't see their compulsion around the area of sex, lack of self-control. They can't even delay their gratification. And you are glossing over that? Lack of knowledge kills. What you don't know can kill you. Just know this. The multi-billion industry of perversion, pornography brings the predator-prey aspect of sex, and it must have a wrongness and power dynamic and domination to be exciting. So you marry normally, but this person doesn't get the kick from normal sex. There must be something illicit. You may not believe this, but the woman who will marry a man who has a son, particularly to just fetish, the wrongfulness. She has consumed so much material, being programmed for energy to just, to younger boys who are stepson. There are men who want a stepdaughter. The younger girl. Some don't go to your daughter, they go to that age group. You get the fetish.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And you're wondering why he has brainwashed himself. Until his energy, remember your energy is so trainable. Young mothers, new mothers will surprise you that when the child is breastfeeding, at first it feels stimulating. The same games they were playing with the father. The first time they breastfeed, the body is new to this. If you want to train your body for perversion around anything, you can. You can. You can, my friend.
Yeah.
You have breastfed this child and you know the feelings can rupture if you allow them. Just to close and tell you, If a person has messed their life sexually, crossed boundaries before you met, for them to qualify for marriage, they should have evidently changed.
Almost very tangible.
It should be almost imperceptible how they did that.
Yeah.
They become clean. And if you say, those are too high standards, just know that marriage itself is high standard. Janik, if you sit to think a person who can be loyal to you for life, what kind of a person is that? Is that a normal person? Just imagine, in and out of season, a person who will be true.
Yeah.
Marriage is more divine than it is human.
That's true.
It's an illustrated sermon of what God will do with the church. People are just hijacking it to think they can do it manually. You can't. That's why people are using dirty things to stimulate them, sleep with the partner, because the love that is sincere, that is supposed to be there, comes from a certain kind of mindset. You must be blind to everybody else and keep your eyes open only to your partner.
Yeah.
People are flashing all around and you choose not to respond, even when you are sexually hungry. You know, sometimes things are not okay and you're hungry. It is not possible that temptation must come. Remember what he said. He said, I can't spare you from temptations, but you will never be tempted beyond your strength.
Yeah.
And even in the moment of testing, you'll be given a way out. This person will be tempted. Have they evolved to a version that can avoid that temptation?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, amazing. My take home is that there is no clean way to deal with a dirty situation. Oh my goodness, absolutely awesome. Please drop us a comment and tell us your take home for today as far as our conversation is concerned. Until next time, goodbye.
There are conversations that shape how we live. Conversations that help us navigate challenges of life. Conversations that bring out the best in us. This is where we gather to help each other find the way and unleash our potential. Welcome